Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like when it drop home, game in the chokehold. Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like when it drop home, game in the chokehold. They call a podcast Poppy. Kinkos, I see they tryna copy. Diamonds in the chains, bust down wrists. And you ain't never seen no like this. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like when it drop home, game in the chokehold. Chillax, 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 chillax. Chillax, 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 chillax.
Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. We are moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the New Orleans Saints.
First opened back in 1975, there's a look inside the iconic Mercedes-Benz Superdome in downtown New Orleans. Today, it's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we've got a good one in store between the Minnesota Vikings and the New Orleans Saints. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that told me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one. That run right there was an offensive line coach's dream, wasn't it? Guys picked up all of their assignments, created a nice gap for the running back to get through, pick up 7 yards. Yeah, he's probably chortling on the headset right now, saying, we got it going, boys. Let's keep it going.
Open here, Adam Thielen. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 15 yards through the air and a first down. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working.
And now nothing but green ahead of him. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. Touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strike ability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Bailey got the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And a pretty good run there in the end to top it off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Daniil Hunter in there yet again. What else is new as he continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And now out comes Minnesota. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
They're going to look to throw. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. Coming into the week, he's the NFL's leader in receiving yards. There's his first catch, and it's good for a first down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He'll buy some time right. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
I think by now it's been demonstrated quite well in the NFL that mobility is an attribute. But when you couple it with accuracy, you've really got something going. Able to get outside the pocket and complete the pass.
First red zone chance now for the Vikings. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11. Looking to throw. Pass incomplete.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. And they'll run it here. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
We are watching a runner having a really nice game. Carrying it very well. Vision is excellent, but boy, look at the help he's getting. Offensive line, I think they're pretty eager to block for him.
Detroit!
He'll look to throw. And almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up 4th. He was all over that route defensively. Now, they had 2 picks last week as a unit. Couldn't quite grab that one.
Patience, Grasshopper. Patience. It's early in this game, but you like the fact that they're around the football early. They're going to be upset they didn't haul that one in, but at least they're there at the moment of truth to make a play on it.
By the way, where did the Grasshopper thing come from? I know it's been around for a while. And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Big 4th down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Here now the starters defensively for the Vikings. They were very good in the victory a week ago over Cincinnati.
And the big difference in the game, their ability to force turnovers. Multiple, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, the big difference in the game.
It was impressive. Now the question, can they duplicate it? That's caught over the middle by Seals-Jones. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Daniil Hunter coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll look to throw toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. There is no denying they want to get him involved. That's already the 5th time that they've looked his way in this first quarter.
So that tells me defensively that they want to insist on going in that direction. Make sure you got your best people in the area to try and take that away.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw here. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A busy first quarter. His 3rd catch of the afternoon is a first down. A pretty sizable deficit here in the first quarter. This defense probably need to get off the field in those situations on 3rd down.
And you and I both know in this huddle before that last 3rd down play.
Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there with his 19th touchdown, his 2nd of the game. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. Bailey now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down, and you know what offenses want? Win first down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on first down. And he powers his way up past the 30. Making the stop there, Danielle Hunter.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
He'll drop to throw. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. There again is the running back as he trots on it. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. When tapping those toes, he tried to get both in bounds. He could not do it, though.
In tap dance parlance, could not complete the shuffle. All right, needed to get that shuffle down with both feet, not just one.
Is that what they say?
There it is. You know, put a little sand down on the stage.
I'll take your word for it, my man. Lets it fly for Thielen. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
I think it's pretty safe to say that when you're up 3 touchdowns, the last thing you want to do is hang one up there and put it in jeopardy and possibly get it intercepted. Get a nice lead, you should be able to protect it. But if you get careless with the football, look out.
They'll set up to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement. Down on the scoreboard, maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? Sheldon Richardson there to make the play.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Here we go. Green, 39.
Now back to throw. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
Everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it. An in route, going into a little bit of traffic. Maybe in the back of his mind, he was wondering where the hit was going to come from.
Blue 90. Blue 90.
He'll look to throw. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Well, it's looking like another 3 and out here, and at some point, got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit, and we're not even at halftime.
Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. Here's Stephon Diggs as he and the rest of the offense get ready to go again. He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. 30, past the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there with touchdown number 20 on the year, and the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it? Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for him. Here's Bailey now for the extra point. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And the rout is on here in this first half. Bailey now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive. But they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm one.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Over the middle to Smith. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they've rallied and made the tackle.
Oh, some strong running. Might have needed just one more block as it stands. 37-yard return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in, because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. Back to throw. And he slings one that's incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They'll set up a throw. Over the middle here to Rudolph. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
At first glance, I thought he just used his size in order to win the route. But he also had a little subtle move in there as well. Made the defender think he was going one direction and was able to track the ball in another.
They'll drop the throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He'll find Thielen work in the middle. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to New Orleans after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And the Vikings are in for the touchdown. So a quarterback scramble, certainly a pass play, but he saw something, tucked it, and got in the end zone.
A lot of quarterbacks, when they scramble, they're scrambling to create more time to throw the ball downfield. In this situation, as you noted, he tucked it and took off. Great play by him.
Bailey got the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. Bailey now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Saints coming out now to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Here we go now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
They'll look to throw here. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. 23 yards on the play.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
Another timeout called by the Vikings now. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Hey, watch 13, watch 13. Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Now he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position could get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his second drop of the game. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
Offense.
And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
They'll look to throw here on first down. That's complete to his tight end, Seals Jones. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
All right, here we go.
They'll look to throw again. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Now it's Chris Boswell on for the field goal try. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. Now maybe a moral victory of sorts. They're on the board here late in the first half, but this offense just hasn't looked that sharp.
Yeah, but at least they got the 3 points, right? At least have something to, quote-unquote, hang their hats on and maybe feel a little bit better about themselves as they head to the half.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. Might he be on his way to a record-setting performance here, Charles? 2nd quarter and the yardage number already ridiculous.
And they always talk about just focusing on the next play, but sometimes it's okay to dream big because
I'm focusing on the 4th quarter already.
Listen, I don't blame you, though, because we could be witnessing some type of history here, and it's being done by him.
They got his man complete. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dante Moncrief, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Bailey now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As there you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
Here we go.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. This is a really important drive, and we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. Start the second half, too, and they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already.
So let's go.
Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA in playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to
nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this belongs to the Vikings.
Well, that's a down and distance coaches always talk about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long, and you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him. Sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did, yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. They go play action here on first down. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. They're going to look to throw. Out to his left. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. How about that? Their quarterback, 29 yards. And this Viking offense is running away with this one. And maybe the defense got so caught up in him throwing the football, they forgot he can take off too.
And you often hear about the quarterback being the unaccounted for guy as a runner. Well, even on a passing play, he's unaccounted for as a runner, and he turned it into a nice gain.
A very nice run, and it turns into 6 points. Extra point try by Bailey. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And that will extend this big lead. Bailey now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it. It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. He finds an opening past the 40. And all the way down to the 25-yard line. It's a big play there for the Saints. 46 yards. And you talk about great blocking up front. I don't think he was even touched, not a finger on him, until he was brought down to the ground.
I think we heard the whoosh as he went by, didn't we? Right through the gap.
Now he'll be hit from behind, and he has landed on hard. Daniil Hunter getting him once again, his third sack of the afternoon.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep the... There he goes, right side. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A great effort there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Saints are able to eat in just a bit to this sizable deficit. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? Who? You and me, trying to get to the airport. The roads will be fairly clear by the time we have to leave the booth.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Eluding the pressure right. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
Illegal forward pass. Offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So the illegal forward pass also cost him a down, and now it's 2nd and long.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Looking to throw. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Back to throw now on first down. They shakes him off. Now he's flushed out left. 20. Throw left side on target to Thielen. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That goes for a gain of 31. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, his second touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Bailey got the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. Bailey now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. We've seen him be good so far. He's hoping to continue that trend here in quarter number 3.
And typically when you see guys running it this well, they see the game in slow motion, don't they? They see the cuts happen. They see the...
Now the ball comes loose. But fortunately, the Saints were able to hold on to it, so they will indeed keep possession.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get
nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and this belongs to the Vikings. And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee?
Legal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Rolling to his right. That's going to be caught.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Defense.
Now, I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
Breaking the huddle, 1st and goal as the return team has set them up with golden field position. He'll look to throw. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dante Moncrief with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Well, that didn't take long. The turnover instantly almost turning into points.
And when that happens, a lot of teams have the mentality of let's strike right now. You've got them off balance after the turnover or the takeaway. Let's go get it. And that's exactly what they did.
A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. Bailey now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. And as the numbers show, he really wasn't in the mix at the beginning, but they've got him in the rotation now, and it's proved a good move.
And that's what happens when you're a good player. There's a lot more attention drawn to you, and it's obvious that they had him in their game plan on defense, not letting him get off to a good start, but he's found a way so far here in the second half.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It's Xavier Rhodes there in on the stop.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
He'll drop to throw. And he finds Seals Jones complete. A big seam, and he might go all the way. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Ricky Seals-Jones, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Saints able to get this back to within at least some measure of respectability. Extra point put through by Boswell. So they do get one score back, but still a long way to go here in the third quarter. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. Fielded about a yard deep. Spinning past him. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to...
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Cameron Jordan in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Back to throw here. He's going to air one out. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. A big play for the Vikings on third down. 47 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here live in New Orleans. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Escaping the pressure right. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
They'll roll him out right. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a third down.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
The Vikings on third down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 19. He'll look to throw. Sliding out of it, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That's just his 2nd catch of the game. They wanted to keep him silent. They have kept him silent.
Defensive football 101. Don't let the best player on offense beat you. Take him out of the game, and they've done a great job of doing that.
They'll set up a throw. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
But plain and simple, that's the 2nd time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think, maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
Was this game announced as a night game prior to, and maybe his rhythm is just off? He's got thrown off. He's got to wake up, enjoy the sunshine, and go play.
They'll look to throw. And that's caught by Smith. Catch number 44 on the year. It's a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll drop to throw. Wide open receiver complete. The 20, 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Ricky Seals-Jones, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Saints are able to eat in just a bit to this sizable deficit.
And that touchdown, well, it barely puts a dent in this lead. And unfortunately, I'm having too many flashbacks right now. I remember getting beat down like this playing before.
Oh, yeah? College, high school?
College, not a heck of a lot of fun. I still remember playing and trying to tackle an elusive tailback who ended up scoring 4 touchdowns, 226 yards. He scored so many times and had so many great runs, I knew every note to their school's fight song.
Bet that ice bath felt extra cold afterwards, too.
Oh, no, there was no ice bath. You're just trying to get out of there before the reporters got to you.
And now out comes Minnesota. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. We know these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried.
And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Cameron Jordan, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. On third down, he'll drop to throw. Dancing to his left. Being chased out, and a pressure gets to him again. Sheldon Rankins in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
And it has been a good game for them. They haven't been pressured very much today, but on back-to-back sacks, maybe the defense is starting to figure something out.
Looks like the offense is going to take another shot here. They're going on 4th and 13. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He can run for it, and he will. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 4th down, no problem. Just a ho-hum pickup of 14 to keep the offense on the field. Back to throw. Forced out to his left. Oh, good footwork on the spin. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. That one looks like he'll throw here. Completes it to Moncrief left side. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
That was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. The Saints say they have it, and they do. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations, big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10.
Here we go now. Blue 90.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down.
After that throw, and it was definitely one that he would love to have back, I wonder what's going through his head. I wonder what kind of mind game he's playing with himself to get himself back on track. Because a lot of guys, that's what they do. They have little triggers that when the mechanics are off, if they make...
Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. He was trying to hit Thomas that time. Facing this 4th quarter deficit, felt like they had to throw the ball, and on the other side, they were ready.
No doubt about it. They're playing situational football. They look at the clock, they know the lead that they have, and all they're doing is playing pass on every down.
Playing the pass, picking it off, and now big time in the driver's seat. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is
but
one of our guys.
Singing too.
Oh, she's
on like the 5th tune at this point.
She left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And that will extend this big lead. And the Saints hands team able to rein this one in. The risk reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play. And here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them. And field position leads you to that type of play calling, whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep. Those types of things, now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
There he goes inside the 30. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. And that one results in 35 yards.
So what's the old expression that quarterbacks like to use when they decide to throw the football? I'm looking for either a touchdown or a check down. And he took the check down on that play, and it worked almost to perfection.
They'll set up to throw. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out.
Illegal touching. Offense.
So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count?
Let's go!
Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
And this is caught. Well, they get one back, picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big.
That's a whole lot of points still to be down. But congratulations, they're still fighting, and they scored another touchdown.
My old high school coach used to say, Charles, he said, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and sometimes you wish you never had showed up.
Could have saved the gas money, the hotel, what have you, huh?
The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy two-play drive that time. Now the Vikings now heading onto the field. They have the big cushion. Here in the final stages of this one, I don't know if there's any better feeling than being up big on the road.
There really can't be, because for a team to go on the road and win in the NFL, that's huge to begin with. But just think about all the preparation that went into it. When they first started talking about this game, leading up to it during the week, going on the road, unfamiliar city, obviously, unfamiliar hotel. No one's going to be with you once you get to the stadium. They're all going to be against you. You name it, all those things they had to deal with, they were able to conquer them and do it convincingly.
Yeah, they did it very convincingly, and now the final moments of this one. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Now back to throw. And Diggs has it. And brought down, but not before 5. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play.
Gone! 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 Hey, 4 down, 4 down. Hey, what's that? What's up? Check Mike 54. Mike 54. I'm trying to cut!
They'll look to throw here. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, second down.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
Lucky 56.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. This is caught. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with this one. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I'll guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
Bailey now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And The defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Vikings, the perfect season remains intact as they move to 11-0 on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to Lambeau to take on the Packers. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, they've fallen out of things now as they sink to 3-8. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Washington. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.